Hello everyone, welcome to this lecture. So I am Dr. Sharmila, Assistant Professor, Krishna Engineering College. In this lecture series, you are going to learn about the semiconductor material. In the last lecture, I gave insights about the electronics engineering subject. In that lecture, I have discussed about marking scheme of an electronics engineering subject, what is electronics engineering, and what is the need and applications of electronics engineering. In this lecture, I am going to discuss about semiconductor materials. So in this lecture, you are going to learn about what are the different types of material, what is semiconductor material and its properties. So types of materials. Generally, the material is made up of an atoms. So the materials are classified based on a different properties such as physical property, chemical property, electrical property, mechanical property, etc. In this electronics engineering subject, you are going to learn about a different types of material based on the electrical property. So what is the meaning of electrical property? So electrical property means any material, it is able to conduct the electricity. That is the electrical property. So based on the electrical property, here the materials are classified into three types, that is conductors, semiconductors and insulator. So these materials are classified based on the two properties of the material, that is conductivity and resistivity. So what is the meaning of conductivity? So conductivity means any material allow the current to flow through it. That is the conductivity. What is the meaning of resistivity? So resistivity means what? Resist the flow of current. That is the resistivity. So the conductivity is just opposite to the resistivity. So conductivity means the material allow the current to flow through it. Resistivity means it does not allow the current to flow through it. Okay. So first we are going to see about what is conductor. From the name itself, you can define conductor means the material which conduct. Okay, that means it allow the current to flow through it. That is a conductor. So the conductors are the material which allow the electricity to flow through it. Okay, so because the material which allow the current, because it allow the electron to flow through easily. Okay, so the conductor has very high level of conductivity and low level of resistivity. You know that the conductivity is just opposite to the resistivity. Here in the conductor material, the conductivity is very high, means then the resistance value will be very low. Okay, so the examples for the conductors are gold, copper, silver, mercury, etc. Then second type of material is insulator. So insulator are the material which does not allow the current to flow through it. That is called as the insulator. So the insulator has very low level of conductivity and high level of resistivity because it resists the flow of current. So insulator are having a very high resistivity and low level of conductivity. So the examples for the insulators are wood, paper, plastic, glass, rubber, etc. You know that the wood are the best examples for the insulator. The wood does not allow the current to flow through it. The third types of material is semiconductor. In this electronics engineering subject, so you are going to learn about the semiconductor materials only, because all the electronic devices are made up of semiconductor materials only. So what is semiconductor? For the semiconductor, its conductivity level is in between conductor and insulator. Okay, so the semiconductor is a material that has a conductivity level in between conductor and insulator. Okay, so the examples for semiconductor materials are silicon, germanium, aluminum, etc. Okay, so in this electronics engineering subject, you are going to study about the semiconductor material only, because all the electronics industry use the semiconductor material to construct the electronic devices. Okay, so already I have discussed about what is resistivity. You know that resistivity means it is resistivity and conductivity are the property of the material. Resistivity means what? It resists the flow of electric current through the material. Okay. So you are going to learn about for the three different material, what is the resistivity value. Okay. For the conductor, its resistivity value is negligible because the conductor does not allow the current to flow through it. Okay. For insulator, the resistivity value is very high because it resists the flow of current. For the semiconductor, the resistivity value is in between conductor and insulator. So next you are going to learn about the conductivity. You know what is the meaning of conductivity? It is a one of the property of the material. The material which allow the electric current to flow through it, that is property is called as the conductivity. For the conductor, the conductivity value is very high. For the insulator, it is negligible because it does not allow the current to flow through it. For the semiconductor material, the resistivity value is in between conductor and insulator. Next, you are going to learn about atomic structure. Okay, here I taken the examples of silicon. For the silicon material, this is an atomic structure of silicon material. This atomic structure consists of three particles, that is neutron, proton and electron. The center part is called as an nucleus. The nucleus has neutron and proton. Okay, so the neutrons are the no charge particles and the protons are the positive charge particles and electrons are the negative charge particles. So the nucleus has neutron and proton. The electrons are revolves around the nucleus. Okay, the revolving path is called as an orbit. That electron revolves around the path. That path is called as an orbit. Next, you have to know about what is valence electron. So what is valence electron is the electrons in the outermost shell is called valence electron. Okay, so the electron present in the outermost shell of an atom is called valence electron. That outermost shell is called valence shell. Okay, so next you are going to see about for these three different materials such as conductor, insulator, semiconductor. You are going to learn about how many valence electron it has. Okay, for the conductor, it has only one valence electron in the outermost shell. For the insulator, it has 8 valence electron in the outermost shell. For all the semiconductor material, it has 4 valence electron in the outermost shell. So the conductors are generally formed by the metallic bonding. Insulators are formed by the ionic bonding. Semiconductors are formed by the covalent bonding. Okay. So now you have to know what is covalent bonding. Okay, as I said earlier, in this electronics engineering subject, so you are going to study about a semiconductor material. So all the semiconductors are formed by the covalent bonding. Okay, so what is covalent bonding? You have to know. So before we go into the covalent bonding, you have to know about this diagram. Okay, so this figure shows the crystal structure of a silicon atom. Okay, what is crystal structure? For example, you take any material, the material is made up of the more number of an atoms. Okay, if it is of silicon material, that silicon material is made up of the more number of an atoms. So each and every silicon atoms has 4 valence electron in the outermost shell. Okay, so what is the meaning of crystal structure? As I said earlier, this diagram is called as the crystal structure of an silicon atom. So crystal structure means all the atoms in the material combined together to form a solid. That is called as the crystal structure. Okay. So in this diagram, here you consider this silicon atom. This silicon atom has 4 valence electron in the outermost shell. So each atoms in the material tries to get 4 electrons from the neighboring atoms. Okay. So this silicon atom tries to get 4 valence electron from the neighboring atom. Okay. So the sharing of an electron, that is called as the covalent bond. Okay. What is the meaning of covalent bond? In a material, each silicon atom tries to get 4 electron from the neighboring atoms. The atoms which are sharing the electrons, that is called as the covalent bonding. The sharing of electrons between the atoms are called as the covalent bonding. Okay. So what is the meaning of covalent bonding? The bonding of atom is strengthened by sharing of electron. It's called as the covalent bonding. Okay. So next we are going to see about energy level of three different material. Okay. So first you have to know what is the forbidden gap. So the forbidden gap is the gap between the conduction band and valence band. So you have to know what is the meaning of conduction band and valence band. So for that you have to go to this crystal structure. So this is called as the covalent bonding. What is the meaning of covalent bond? The sharing of electron between the atom is called as the covalent bond. So this is the valence electron, that is this is a valence band of an silicon atoms. So each valence band has a 4 valence electron. Okay, when the temperature is increases above 0 degree Kelvin, what will happen? Each and every electron tries to get more energy and break the covalent bond. Okay, so this here this electron is nothing, the electron is in the valence band. When the temperature is increases above 0 degree Kelvin, what will happen? The electron in the valence band get an enough energy to break the covalent band. Okay, it will break the covalent band and goes to the, from the valence band, it goes to the outside of this valence band. Okay, this electron is called as the free electron. From the valence band, the electron goes to the conduction band. Okay. Okay. So the forbidden gap is the gap between the valence band and conduction band. When the temperature is above 0 degree Kelvin, the electron in the valence shell, for example, if it is of silicon atom, means the electron, there is a 4 electron in the valence shell. So from this valence band, the electron get an enough energy and break the covalent bond and goes to the conduction band. Okay. For the insulator, the energy gap between the valence band and conduction band is very high, that is of greater than 5 electron volt. That's why in insulator, it has very low level of conductivity. Okay. For the semiconductor, the gap between the valence band and conduction band is small as compared to the conduction band. For the insulator, its value is greater than 5 electron volt. For the semiconductor, the energy gap is small as compared to the insulator. Okay. For the three different material like germanium, silicon and gallium arsenide, the energy gap is 0.67 volt for germanium, 1.1 electron volt for silicon. For gallium arsenide, the energy gap is 1.43 electron volt. For the conductor, the gap between the valence band and there is no gap between valence band and conduction band. For the conductor, there is a overlapping of conduction band and valence band. Okay, so that's why in the conductor, it has a very high level of conductivity as compared to the insulator and semiconductor. So semiconductor material. So semiconductor material are the special class of element. Its conductivity level is in between, you know that. Its conductivity level is in between conductors and insulator. Okay. So the semiconductors are classified into two types. So one is a single crystal and compound. So what is the meaning of single crystal is the semiconductor material made up of only one element. Okay, that is made up of only one compound. Okay, either germanium or silicon, that is of single crystal. What is the meaning of compound means? It is a combination of more than one element. Okay, the examples for the compound is gallium arsenide, cadmium sulfide, gallium nitride, etc. Okay, so compound means the mixture of 2 or 3 elements. Okay, so that is a compound. So another one important thing is the commonly used, that is the frequently used semiconductor material in electronics industries are germanium, silicon and gallium arsenide. So these three semiconductor materials are commonly used in electronics industry to construct the electronic device. So you have to know the three semiconductor materials commonly used in the electronics industries are germanium, silicon and gallium arsenide. Then the history of the semiconductor material. In the early stage, in 1939, they invented the diode using a germanium material. In 1947, they invented the transistor using a germanium material. So initially the transistor and diodes are constructed using a germanium material. In 1954, the silicon materials was used to construct the transistor. Okay, what is the advantage of silicon as compared to germanium is the silicon is less temperature sensitivity, as well as the silicon is available in the large quantities. Okay, so germanium has the it has a high temperature sensitive material. That silicon is of a less temperature sensitivity. The silicon is available in the large quantity. In 1970, they have invented the high-speed transistor using a gallium arsenide. It is 5 times as faster as compared to the silicon material. So the commonly used semiconductor materials are silicon, germanium, and gallium arsenide are the commonly used semiconductor for the in the electronics industry. So next one is negative temperature coefficient. It is one of the important properties of semiconductor material. Okay, so what is negative temperature coefficient? So negative temperature coefficient is nothing but here the temperature is inversely proportional to the resistance. Okay, that is the negative temperature coefficient. That means as the increase in the temperature of semiconductor, which results in the increase the number of free electrons. That means if the temperature increases, the temperature of semiconductor material increases, what will happen? The number of free electrons will increase. The number of free electron increases means the conductivity is increased. In semiconductor material, the conduction is, that is the flow of current is depends on the flow of electrons only. If the number of that is the number of free electron increases, automatically the current flow will be very high. Okay, so as the temperature of the semiconductor material increases, which results in increase the number of free electrons in the material. If the number of free electron increases, the conductivity will increase. If the conductivity increase, the resistivity value get decreased. Okay, so that is the things about the negative temperature coefficient. The main thing what you have to remember, negative temperature coefficient means the temperature is inversely proportional to the resistance value. So as the temperature rise above 0 degree Kelvin, as I said earlier, for example, here you consider the silicon atom. In this silicon atom, if the temperature is increases above 0 degree Kelvin, what will happen? The electron in the valence band, that is the valence electrons, get enough energy to break the covalent bond, and the electron moves to the conduction band. Okay, so the electrons moves out of the valence band to the, it goes to the conduction band, that is called as the free electrons. Okay, okay, as the temperature increases above 0 degree Kelvin, it increases the number of valence electrons absorb the sufficient thermal energy. When the temperature is above 0 degrees Kelvin, then the electron in the outermost shell get enough energy to break the covalent bond. Once it breaks the covalent bond, okay, the electrons moves to the conduction band. That electrons is called as the free electron. As the number of free electron increases, then what will happen? It automatically increases the conductivity. If the conductivity value increases, the resistivity value get decreased. Okay, so that is the concept of the negative temperature coefficient. At 0 degree Kelvin, the semiconductor materials act as the insulator. When the temperature is increases, the semiconductor material act as the conductor. You know that the semiconductor is, the conductivity level is in between conductors and the insulator. At the 0 degree Kelvin, the semiconductor materials act as the insulator. When the temperature is increases, the conductivity of the material also will get increased. That is the concept of the negative temperature coefficient. Okay, so the semiconductor materials such as the silicon and germanium which shows a reduction in the resistance with increases in the temperature. That property is said to be the negative temperature coefficient. So negative temperature coefficient means what? When the temperature increases, the conductivity of the material will get increased. If the conductivity get increased, the resistivity value get decreased. Okay. So next you are going to learn about the, for three different material, what is its property. For the insulator material and semiconductor material have the negative temperature coefficient. Negative temperature coefficient means when the temperature increases, the conductivity level will increase, the resistivity value get decreased. Okay. So the conductor is of has a positive temperature coefficients. Okay. So the negative temperature coefficient is one of the important property of semiconductor material. At 0 degree Kelvin, the semiconductor material is act as the insulator. When the temperature increases, the semiconductor material will act as the conductor. That means it allow the current to flow through it. Okay. So the current flows depends on a number of free electrons only. In the semiconductor material, the conductivity depends on a number of free electrons. Okay. So learning by doing activities. So in this lecture, we saw about what are the different types of materials, what is semiconductor material, what is the meaning of atomic structure, what is covalent bond, and we saw about your negative temperature coefficients. Okay, you just pause the video and go through these 4 questions. Okay, so this is a learning by doing activity. Whatever the concepts you learn from this lecture, using that knowledge, you have to solve the 4 questions. Okay, just pause the video and go through the question and try to answer it. Okay. So now I hope that you have go through all the questions, so you know the answers. So I will tell you what are the answers for these questions. The first question is the resistivity of semiconductor dash conductors and insulator. You know that the semiconductor material, the conductivity level as well as the resistivity level lies in between conductors and insulator. So the answer for the first question is, it is lies between the conductors and insulator. Then the second question is, the semiconductor is formed by dash bond. As I said earlier, the semiconductor is formed by the covalent bonding. Okay. So the answer is A. Third question is, the most commonly used semiconductor material is dash. So the most commonly used semiconductor material is carbon, sulfur, silicon. You have to answer, you know that it is of silicon material. So the most commonly used semiconductor materials are germanium, silicon, gallium arsenide. So the gallium arsenide is, they started to use, in order to increase the speed of computer operation and level of computer operation, they started to use gallium arsenide. So most commonly used semiconductor material is silicon. Okay. Next one is, the semiconductor has dash temperature coefficient of resistance. You know that the semiconductor has negative temperature coefficient of resistance. So what is the meaning of negative temperature coefficient? When the temperature increases, the resistivity value get decreased. So thank you.